Rolande Sumner, and I am the CEO and founder of ButterAngels.com, and you are viewing Sister Soldier Entrepreneur. This is powered by Butter Angels Handcrafted Skincare. We make handcrafted, natural vegan skincare products with exotic ingredients made from around the world. Our mission is to enhance the beauty of powerful women with inspiring messaging, luxurious skincare products, and powerful imagery. Today, our guest is Jenny Hale. She is my marketing expert. I go to her for all my marketing advice. She's had an outstanding life for someone who is so young. And I say she's so young because I know she's younger than I am. So she was a runway model. She's a professional photographer, and she is a marketing expert. And she is a military spouse, so she knows what it's like to run a successful business on the run. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Jenny Hale. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. Thank you so much for coming on today. I appreciate it.
No problem. I love chatting with you. Obviously, we spent a lot of time talking marketing together, so I'm excited to be here.
So Jenny, let's get started. Why don't you tell us about your entrepreneur journey and how you got started on marketing?
Yeah, of course. So marketing's my biggest passion. I kind of knew that growing up. I was in high school when my mom pulled me aside and she was like, hey, I found this club at school that's all about business and I think you'd be perfect for it. And I was like, no, Mom, like, I don't need your help. Like, I'm fine. And then like a week later, I stumbled into the club and I came home and I'm like, Mom, I found this club at school and it's all about business and it's so cool. And she was like, teenagers. That's kind of what led to marketing. So I've been doing marketing and public relations campaigns since I was a teenager on a competitive level. So I've always just kind of like lived and breathed it. And then when I was 19, I decided I was going to start my first company. And it happened totally on accident. I was a photographer and I started taking pictures with my friends, and then all of a sudden people started paying me for it. So I turned it into a business and had that going all throughout college. It was amazing. Being a photographer led me to a ton of freelance opportunities with magazines, newspapers, getting marketing or director of photography type positions with magazines at a very, very young age. And it also led to my other career as a runway model and print and commercial actress. So I absolutely loved everything that entrepreneurship led me. I had lots of different businesses. I worked as a musician manager doing PR, helping bands open on world tours and in local bars and clubs. So that's kind of where my passion started. And then somehow along the way, I went to college and got put on a dorm room floor with a bunch of ROTC students. And that kind of sparked a little passion. And I was like, oh, I actually really like this community. This community is really fun. They get me. They're very focused and motivated. And I just kind of wanted to learn more. So along the way, I just kept feeling like everywhere I went ended up being something military focused. I did grow up about an hour outside of a military town. And the school that I was going to is one of the biggest in the country for veteran type, activities and students and programs. So as a result, I was kind of involved in this veteran community, and the student ROTC community. Ended up living in the ROTC house one summer as I subletted a room so I could go to school, and then began volunteering at the local VA hospital. And I knew that this is kind of the community I wanted to stay in. So when I went and got my master's degree, I kind of moved my course of study from like PR, but PR specifically with military type projects. So everything I did was military focused. In my undergrad, I started taking military classes with the ROTC kids. But at the end of the day, I wasn't medically qualified to serve. So that was like really heartbreaking for me. I have actually tried to enlist multiple times now. But I'm not medically qualified. And as a result, I was kind of, disappointed. Obviously, I'm really young, so I'm not married yet. I'm not a military spouse. I'm not a military brat. I didn't grow up in a military family, but I kind of just felt this calling to help this community and be a part of our America and making it better, and was disappointed that I couldn't do that through serving. So I decided to dedicate the rest of my career to working with the military community. And so after college, I ended up working for the Army as a photojournalist and working with their public affairs office. And that led to a bunch of different careers, including my day job now, where I work with military organizations doing marketing, PR, social media, and changing the way that the military thinks of marketing. And I started consulting after becoming a photographer and doing marketing for other organizations. So I've been consulting for years. But the more I got involved with the military community, I knew that I never wanted to work with anyone else. So I actually stopped working with civilian consulting clients and started working specifically with the community that I had learned the most about. As a photojournalist, I lived in the barracks. I was doing photojournalism jobs inside the gas chamber trainings. I was on the range every morning. I was on land navigations. I was rappelling down towers. I was experiencing what the community experienced on a training level. So I tried to embed myself as much in the culture as I could to understand what the community needed, what their concerns were. And as an entrepreneur, I was able to better understand the audience that I was working with, not only through my day job, but as a business owner. And so now, after doing this for years, I've been able to really niche down and say, hey, I know how to market to the military community, and I'm able to see it from a civilian perspective, because that's what I am. I'm a civilian, but I'm able to see the different pieces of where the military and civilian marketing strategies can kind of come together to better an entrepreneur's business. There's a lot of things that the military brings to the table as a military spouse, as a veteran, as a service member or a soldier or an airman or a Marine. While they're on active, they're running side hustles, or they're, in the National Guard or the reserves, and they're doing this on a part-time basis as well. But they bring a lot of skill sets to the table. And I like to see those skill sets being leveraged for entrepreneurship. They're just incredible at running businesses and being able to be creative about that and taking it, in a way that a civilian, I have not seen civilians do. They think about it so different, and that's what's so inspiring. And I have been so fortunate to be a part of helping that entrepreneur through that journey.
Well, thank you so much for being such a great and consistent support to our community. I kind of got stuck on the gas chamber part, so you volunteered to get in there, and I give you props, because usually I get in there, soldier, and you're like, because you saw somebody else come out vomiting and snorting all kinds of bodily fluids coming out of holes.
Flap the arms.
Yes. So thank you so much.
A lot of fun, and we got some great footage, so it was great.
Yeah, whoa. So I definitely want to step back a little bit on the communities. I need you guys to go on jennyhale.com. She has a link that goes to her Facebook community, and it's a unique community because it does focus on military marketing, but it's not rah rah. And it's very interactive, and it's welcoming to all services. So you don't have it feel more like Marines or Army. There's not like one steady presence in there. There's spouses and there's service members of all kinds.
Okay.
You have like the active duty, you have the retiree, you have some of everybody in the group, and everybody interacts really well. Everybody brings something to the table. So it's not like you just have Jenny only talking. A lot of times she'll post one thing and we kind of take over the conversation for the rest of the day. It's a very unique, very fluid community, and you're gonna learn a great deal.
Thank you.
So yes, I'm hooked. Like I'll go in there. It's like what, 6 o'clock in the morning sometime, and I'm answering something that she posted the night before. It's very helpful though, honestly.
Yeah.
Jenny she's my marketing professional, and she's been helping me come out of my shell and show a little bit more of myself so I can be a better marketer. So with that being said, please tell us about your services.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yes, I run a Facebook group specifically for military community entrepreneurs. So, whether that you're in service, whether you're a veteran, whether you're a spouse, whether you're a former spouse, wherever it fits, you can even be a civilian in that group. The idea is that you have some sort of business focused toward the military community in some way, and that's your target audience. And we're in there teaching you how to better market to that audience. So I have a wide range of services for that. I have a twofold. One, I work with entrepreneurs one-on-one, just like you, and others who are looking for marketing, kind of how to do this themselves. Like they want to learn, they want to grow, and they want to DIY it, but they want to make sure they're doing it right. So I offer a lot of one-on-one coaching and packages that walk you through the step, and we work together to come up with a strategy to move you forward. There's also another sector of my market where I work with larger established organizations that are really just looking to outsource their marketing. I specialize in working with entrepreneurs that are interested in building an organic following and an organic engaged following. So mostly through social media, mostly through content creation, really understanding what your audience wants to learn, what they want to read, and then feeding that back to them so that you can build a relationship and trust with your community so that eventually you can sell to them, or that you are selling to them, but you want to build your brand. So I work with the businesses one-on-one, and then I also do consulting work where I actually do that content creation and social media management for large companies that are looking to completely outsource it.
Okay, so let me tell you the importance of these services, right? My clients and customers come from Facebook and through referrals. And then I'll meet some in person, and then that's how I work with them, and that's how I develop my leads. But a lot of them come through Facebook. And as you know, Facebook has dramatically changed their algorithm, where it's not as business focused; it's more friends and family focused.
Mm-hmm.
With all that being said, if you go in her group, she'll give you tips on how to adjust your approach overall, generally adjust your approach so you can take advantage of that change in algorithm. But then on the consultation level, she does an in-depth review of your social media, your analytics, and what you are and are not doing correctly. And when I tell you she's sweet about it, she's gonna come to you and give you all of the little details, good, bad, and indifferent. Like after my consultation, I was depressed for a couple of days. It wasn't her fault. She was totally nice about it. She was professional. She's like, okay, sweetheart. So this is, okay. But I was like, oh my God. I was sitting at my island in the kitchen, and my husband's like, what's wrong? And I was like, I feel like I'm in high school. I was so sad. But I needed that. I needed someone else to confirm what other people have been telling me. Because my friends have been telling me, like, look, you need to come out your shell. And I'm like, well, I am. And they're like, no, I know who you are, but nobody else knows who you are. She's going to give you the truth, Ruth.
The honest truth. I'm really good.
I mean, she's going to give you your money worth of truth. Oh my God. But at the end of it, she's also going to give you options for other tools that you can use to be better. And it really just depends on how fast you want to grow and what you're ready to do right now. All of this depends, all of your growth and improvement is going to depend on the work you want to do and when you want to do it. She's got a little bit of something for everybody. I've definitely learned a lot in the last couple of weeks. And you'll start to see changes in how I market and just my approach. But when I tell you it was an eye opener, it was really an eye opener. I had some cake and ice cream. I ate candy for a couple of days. I even drank a bottle of wine. I mean, I got through it, but it was what I needed. And I kid you not, the moment she gave me that, like 2 days later, Facebook had announced their algorithm change. And I was like, holy crap.
Me too.
And I was like, oh, okay. So when everybody was complaining about it, I had already known, because I did a consultation with her, I had already known. So I didn't really dig deep into it because I was like, well, okay, she already told me that. I'm already working on it. So do not sleep. Seriously, don't sleep. You gotta hire somebody. Like I know I'm talking to a lot of startups. I'm a startup myself, and then there's people in the growth phase and then the downward spiral, but this is to the startups. We DIY everything because we are a team of one. So we don't have any money, we don't have any people, but there's going to become a time in your business where you have to get outside professionals to come in and from a different perspective and a different expertise tell you what is, because you're only seeing it from little narrow glasses and a lot of it's coming from your heart. So you're feeling and you're seeing everything from your heart. So everything is feeling like I feel it's good and I feel it's great and I don't understand. And you really need somebody who's not going to put the feelings in it. They're going to be like, look, from my expertise of doing this for 10 plus years and working with large clients and small clients, these are the things you have to stop doing. And these are things you should start doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. That's great. I'm so glad it was helpful for you. I definitely work with the military community, and working with the military myself, we are direct. So I'm definitely not the person who's going to beat around the bush and say, you should spend all this money and nothing's going to happen from it, but you should hire me anyways. I'm definitely one of those people that say, right fit for you? Not like, nope, not going to happen. But I'll be honest with you of what you're doing. And most of the time, it's not the content that the company is creating or the entrepreneur is creating. It's the way they're posting it. So this is specific to Facebook, but I expect that these changes are going to start to roll out on other platforms too. There's an algorithm on every single social media site. Facebook is just the one that has really honed in on it. But there are so many things that you are posting, and it's amazing content. Your video has the best tips in the world. Your blog is going to change someone's life. But the way that you're posting it doesn't feed into the algorithm. So if entrepreneurs can take a step back and say, I'm just trying to get stuff out there. I'm just trying to schedule, just schedule it this way and then be hands off on it because I've got so many other things to do. If they really take a look at it and play the algorithm game, they're going to have more success. They're going to have more clicks. They're going to have more engagement. They're going to have more opportunities to build that sale because people A, saw it, B, liked it, and then actually got the information they needed versus the algorithm pulling it from the newsfeed because you didn't post it the way the algorithm wanted you to. So it's all about playing the game, understanding what that algorithm means and how to use it to your advantage. And then also to fine tune your content to actually focus less on you and focus more on them. Like what does your audience care about? What do they want to know? What do they want to talk about? And then being able to create content that applies to your business, obviously, but that starts the conversation so that you can build relationships and trust with those customers that are on your page so that you can either lead them to a sale or get them to purchase again, or just have your content show up in their news feeds more so that you have an opportunity to sell to them. I'm very big on content marketing that leads to relationship building because relationships and referrals and tagging another person that might be interested in this is what leads to sales. And I know you know that.
Yes.
Which portion of your business is referrals?
Yes, I do wholesale and private label, and I will say that about 90%, if not 95% of the wholesale bulk order side of the business is referrals. And it's because someone said, I know someone who makes this product and they have great service. Why don't you try them out? If you haven't caught on already, referrals is the best way to get business because these people are coming to you ready to spend their money. Like they have their wallet open. I had to slow somebody down from paying me. Like, hold on for a second. Let's talk about terms and conditions. Wait. Let's talk about some other things. Don't you want to know how I'm going to deliver this? Are you curious about some of the other stuff I have? They come ready with their credit card ready. It caused me to sit down and really think about how I process my client experience, because they're coming to pay. And so they're looking for that link the second they're talking to you. That proposal is something nice for them to have. You should do one over a quote, but it's something nice for them to have because they are ready to pay. So she's absolutely right. When you do content marketing, they get to know and love you, they're coming. They're coming for you in the best way possible. And they're going to come back. Those are the customers and clients that you can work with. So if you have a client, say you doubled your price point, but they're loyal, you can work with them and they're less likely to take advantage of you because they're like, look, I want to stay with you. I just need a little help this one time or what have you. It's the best, absolute best to have referrals because they come with their wallet wide open, ready to receive what you have.
Absolutely.
One of the things I want to highlight is go on jennyhale.com, and the link is going to be below. If you're listening to the podcast, it's going to be in the show notes. Go to jennyhale.com. She has a lot of useful, brief, to the point blog articles. Like, it's not fluff. You don't have to spend all day. I'm a skimmer. I read, but my mind is all over the place. So I do a lot of audio books and podcasts because easier for me to take in at this point, but they're short to the point, so you can skim it and you can get a lot of good information, and she will interact with you. So she'll tell you, hey, go over to my Facebook group and tell me about this thing, and then you're going to get a response back, not only from her but other helpful members of the group. So if you're not sure if you want to spend that type of money right now, that's okay. She's got a lot of good content that you could try out right now. She's got a lot of good content that is easily utilized or easily digestible, and something you can do today, and you'll start to see results if you use it. What you're paying for is that one-on-one contact, so she could tell you specifically what you need to do, and you can't get that part for free naturally. There's a lot of good general information out there, but you need to know specifically what your business or businesses need. What specifically needs do you have? So please share with us 3 to 4 pieces of advice that we can use this instant.
Okay. So the first thing I would say is I am a huge social media buff, and I do specialize in a lot of Facebook type content because that's how I started my company. My first company, I didn't have a website, I didn't have an email list, I didn't have anything. I had Facebook, and I graduated debt-free from college. A lot of different factors, including some scholarships, but my grad school was on me, and I graduated debt-free from that. So thank you, Facebook. So Facebook has always been my baby, but my real belief is that depending on the type of business you have, and this often does work for service-based businesses and career-focused businesses, but it can work for anyone if you do it right, is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is incredible. And I just taught a class earlier this week on having LinkedIn doesn't do anything for you. Having LinkedIn and having an awesome rock star profile and then engaging on LinkedIn does wonders for you. So, you said earlier, like referrals, these people come to you with money ready to spend and their credit cards ready to go. LinkedIn is that way with a high ticket target audience that is ready to do the same thing. So if you can build relationships through LinkedIn, especially service-based businesses or B2B type businesses, that definitely is a great networking tool to use LinkedIn to build your brand reputation and making sure that your profile is actually filled out. So the first thing I would say today is if you have a LinkedIn account, go brush it off, get the dust off of it. Go read some amazing tips. If you're a veteran or you have a background in the military, you're already in uniform, you can definitely indicate that on your LinkedIn account and connect with other veterans and especially entrepreneurs if you're an entrepreneur. So LinkedIn is amazing. I have a bunch of articles that I've written on that, how to use LinkedIn to build leads and how to do it the right way so that you don't make a lot of people mad by pitching to them all the time. There's definitely a way to use LinkedIn, but that networking aspect, that's what builds those referrals. And you can do it through LinkedIn, you can do it through Facebook, you can do it through Twitter, you can do it through any platform you want to do it. But the point is to network. So definitely get out there, use the platforms that are meant to be networked on, and build your brand. And the second thing I would say is go home today and really read up on that new algorithm change. The algorithm on Facebook changes all the time. But as marketers and as business owners, it's our job to understand what we have to do to better reach our customers. Because if we're just posting into cyberspace, we're not doing anything. We're just making more work for ourselves, and our customers aren't getting the information that they need. At the end of the day, whatever you sell or whatever you offer can change a life, no matter how you look at it. Because obviously you're selling something you believe in and you're passionate about. And so if you can offer someone wrinkles, like getting rid of their wrinkles or bettering their skin.
Yeah, because I don't offer wrinkles now. I don't give away wrinkles.
But make them beautiful. But if you can make someone feel like that, that's life changing. So, if I can help an entrepreneur find, financial stability as a military spouse, and they can work anywhere in the world, no matter where their husband or wife gets stationed, then that's life changing. If you offer a service that helps alert someone to maybe a medical issue, or you have a medical based product, that's life changing. But at the end of the day, if you sold toilet paper, that's life changing too. Like we need that. So it does.
I'm going to interrupt you. I need to emphasize something. This time now more than ever, it is important for veterans and their spouses to have a side hustle. Not everybody, entrepreneurship is for everyone, but not everybody's for entrepreneurship. So if you're a risk taker, if you've always wanted to do your own thing, if you ever question authority, and there's a lot of us, because I'm one of those people, question authority, you need to have a side hustle, because your job, especially in the civilian sector, is not guaranteed. It's not. In the military, they will work with you, they will retrain you, they will reassign you to Timbuktu and back. If you get put out of the military because you didn't conform with it, you didn't try hard enough, seriously, because they've been heaven and earth to make sure they make their money work, and you are their money. But when you go out into the civilian sector, it's not like that. If you're not perfect and if you don't fit their mold, you don't have a job. And a lot of companies want to say that they want to hire veterans, but they want to hire perfect veterans. And I'm sorry, but 90% of us who get out are not perfect. We have some things that are going on, whether it be mental, physical, or just how we understand culture. The culture in general, we think the world is military until we find out otherwise. You need to have a side hustle, because there might be a time when you don't have a job and your retirement or your VA pension is just not stretching farther enough. So you start your side hustle while you're serving, even if it's on a very tiny scale. By the time you get out, say you're going to leave next year, by the time you get out, you're already on the way to making a little bit more money.
Absolutely.
Need somebody like Jenny, and other people out there I'm going to introduce you to, but that's why you need somebody from marketing and branding and just different things, so somebody can tell you, like, okay, I know how your brain thinks, I know how you see the world, I know where you're coming from, and this is how you're going to work with that. We're going to work with you and not against you. We're not going to tell you, your mentality is not perfect. You have
Absolutely
to hustle, though. You really do.
Oh, yeah. And even for me, like, I have a full-time job I love, and it works for the military. Like, I won't work anywhere else. I'm only going to do stuff forever. But I love my job. But at the end of the day, there's always ways to increase, your money. So maybe it's vacation money. Maybe it's retirement money. Maybe it's saving for my future kids' college funds. Like, they always say you never become a millionaire from one revenue source. You always diversify. So diversifying throughout your life and experimenting with different things. And, I always say the best time to start a business is when you're employed, because there's no pressure to have to make sure you make rent that month, but you can make mistakes along the way and grow. If you're in the position where you want to leave your job, it's a great motivation factor to work harder to get that point. If you're at the point where you ever did get fired and you have a business, at least you have some sort of income coming in. And then, with all that free time where you don't have a job, you can work to scale it up and make it what you want to do. There's so many reasons to have a business. The worst reason to not have a business is I just don't have time.
You have time for anything you want. I'm telling you right now, I work a full-time job and I had to go back because I wasn't working when I started my business. That's a whole nother story, y'all. But you have time for whatever you want. You honestly, what's her name? She does Side Hustle Pro, the podcast for Side Hustle Pro. And she has a whole thing where she has a whole concept on how you can run a business on an hour a day. And it actually works. It's planning that you can do it. You got to get out your head that you're going to be a millionaire tomorrow, regardless. Don't walk into starting your own business. I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow. No, that's not happening. But you can do a business an hour a day. You have time. You just have to figure out what is more important, and you can have it all. You just got to rearrange it a little bit. But we're going to go back to pieces of advice. I know I went way off.
No,
number 3.
Number 3 is work with others. So obviously, you and I are very good friends, and we've worked with each other before. And it was actually so cool. I have to share with y'all a story. So I went to Hawaii last week, and I went on leave, so I was on vacation with my mother, and I am at a farmer's market in the middle of Honolulu, Hawaii. We had just gone to the zoo, and I was chatting with someone who was selling jewelry, and we were talking about the Hawaii missile strike alert that had happened that morning. So very engaging conversation. And my mom jumped in and said something to the woman, and as she was talking, I looked over to the table next to me, and I saw your content. I saw your products laid out so pretty, and I felt really bad, but I totally walked away from. I'm like, I gotta go, and I took a picture and I posted it in my group and I tagged her in it, and I was like, look, all the way in Hawaii, they love you. Your skincare line is here. And how did she do that? By working with others and building those relationships with people so that they purchased her on wholesale, and now they're selling her products and spreading that that brand out throughout the country. That's incredible. But she did that by working with other people and reaching out and building those relationships and getting those referrals. So at the end of the day, what I would say to do is find people online. LinkedIn is a great tool. Bloggers are a great resource. Friends, and not just the friends that live next door to you. I mean, like, you build your own friends when you're an entrepreneur. Like, these people get you. They get what you go through. Reach out to your entrepreneur friends and see if there's ways to collaborate with people. This is beyond networking. Networking can lead to a sale. Collaborations can lead to a friendship. That's so important.
This is the thing about collaboration, you guys. Do not go asking for anything. Go offering. Because you have to think about it. Everybody is in need. Everybody needs something. I need money. Like, I need all kinds of stuff. I need this so much. When you go to collaborate, you need to lead with what you're going to offer them. Especially if you're going to somebody who's more established, they got a lot going on, and they got their stuff together. What can you offer them? And you'll be surprised. They're not looking for money. A lot of times they don't want money first because they're established. They have leads, they have clients. What else can you offer them? Can you offer them exposure? Can you offer them your time? Can you offer them sweat equity? What can you do? Because collaboration is truly about two people working together to get something out of it. It's got to be a win on both sides, and you cannot start off with your win. They don't care about your win. Nobody's being nasty. They constantly have people coming at them like, can you give me? Can you do this for me? Me. And it's draining. So be above the crowd and say, listen, I would like to work with you. This is what I want to offer you. This is how it's going to benefit you. Lead with how it's going to benefit them, and really assess, is this going to benefit them? Because you can easily take something that's clearly for you and say it's going to benefit them, and it's just fluff words. Like, it's like, no, that's not really benefiting me though. Like, how is that helping me out? So if you ever want to collaborate with somebody, I'm going to have a whole blog about that. But I'm going to tell you, one of the tips is go bearing gifts. And the gifts don't have to be money, and it doesn't have to be anything tangible. A lot of time people just need your time and your access. So what are you offering them?
Absolutely. And I would say the same goes for networking. Again, we always say value, 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 ask. Value, 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 value. Like, at the end of the day, you provide something to the community as an entrepreneur. You offer advice, you offer skills, you offer your time, you offer a lot of things. Oh yeah, and you also offer a product or service. But you don't lead with that. You lead, and you honestly, you have to be genuine about it too. Like, we can see right through that. We know what you're at. So be genuine about it. And there's a lot of different avenues to do that. You can get into Facebook groups and there's collaboration threads all the time. You can go into a Facebook group and just read the rules. So make sure you're aware of those, but you can ask for collaborations, or you can ask for advice and help and offer something in return. It's okay to be new to a business. It really is. I've been an entrepreneur multiple times over now. It's okay to be new. But my businesses grow with my interests and my expertise. So you will learn more and your businesses will grow over time. But you do need to have a community that you get to know, that trusts you, that really wants to help you. And if you can build those friendships, you're going to be off to a way better start. You're going to get more podcast interviews. You're going to get more guest blogging opportunities. You're going to get more guest speaker offers. And oh yeah, by the way, you might get more sales. That's the goal. But if you are able to help those people out too, you're able to offer them, social media posts, access to your audience, your expertise and value and time. All of those things help build that collaboration relationship, and then you can go back to them later. My clients are not my clients. My clients are my clients, which is awesome, but they're also my friends, and I try to uplift them with me as I find new experiences too. So if I get offered for a podcast and they're like, oh, hey, bring someone, I'll be like, I know the perfect client to do that with. And so it's about collaborating. It's not just about having a business. It's about building a family. And I say that every time I go into my group, I'm like, good morning, family. This is a community, and you bring to the community your expertise, but you also need to bring your value, and you need to build others up and help them along the way.
And it has a boomerang effect. It really does. So several people that I interviewed last year for the Veteran Spotlight and Subject Matter Expert came back around this year and have offered me other opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
In the form of a mass email that's like, hey, I need some people to do X, Y, and Z. And they put you in that email hoping you would ping back. And you're like, oh, I could do that. And you're like, I was really hoping you would say that. Or you might get a direct message saying, hey, do you want to be on my radio show, or do you want to do this? It's going to boomerang back. It might be somebody you totally don't even know. Like, I got into founders group, a beauty founders group, because somebody added me and was like, hey, you need to join this group. And the group is awesome. So it's going to come back. Karma, God, the universe has a way of giving you back what you bring in. And when she's saying her clients are her friends, I need to clarify that. Start business. Your friends and your family are not your target audience. They're not your target audience at all. They're going to be there to support you. They're going to buy you stuff. They're going to buy stuff, but it's all going to go away. At some point, they're going to stop, and your sales and all that going to dip. And then your real target is going to come in. What she means by friends is, she, like, for me and her, she offered me content. We talked, and work together before I even put money in her pocket. And then when I put money in her pocket, she gave me the truth, Ruth. And I was like, oh, okay. She's about her business. Anytime she needs my help, I'm there for her. Anytime I need her help, she's like, well, this is how it is. As a matter of fact, speaking of, I need to book a LinkedIn audit with you. We'll talk about that later.
Got you covered.
But see how that is. So when she's saying friends, it's not because they were buddies in high school. It's because she developed relationships with her future clients, and they trust her. And you're going to put money in people's hands that love, and trust. So don't.
Right. Yeah. You definitely don't want to spend your time marketing to your family and friends and hope that that's your foundational business. But your family and friends can bring you the referrals. But those people, when you have clients, there's a common decency. It is a business. You do need money. You do need contracts. You need all that type of stuff. You don't be soft or weak toward, the people that you're working with. If they're not paying you, then, that's it, But at the end of the day, you treat your clients the way you want to be treated too. And you build that relationship with them to have that trust and conversation, so that if at midnight on a Saturday night, they had, a social media nightmare meltdown, or they had a client that posted a bad review and they need a pick me up, at no charge, you are absolutely going to respond to them and give them the advice that they need. And you're going to be able to make them feel better and give them that pep talk. And I will go to the ends of the earth to make sure that my clients are taken care of, on not a, hey, okay, but can you charge me per hour on that? But hey, are you okay? Do you need to get through today? What can I do to help you? You are more important to me than, what's in my bank account right now. So that's that relationship that you need to build with your clients, and honestly, just be a decent person. Don't let people take advantage of you, obviously, but but at the same time of day, be there for your clients and go above and beyond and show that customer service, and not think that there's something in it for you at the end of it, but to make sure that you are, being an active part of the community and providing your value all the time.
Yeah. So, and then your fourth piece of advice, do you have a fourth piece of advice?
So the biggest piece of advice I can say, if you're watching this and you are thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, but you haven't started a business yet, but you're just, it's something you've always wanted to do, and maybe you just haven't taken the chance to go out there and say, hey, I'm officially signing the paperwork and I'm registering with the government and I'm going to do it. Reach out to people like, us. Reach out to groups that are focused on entrepreneurship. Ask what their experience was. Ask how they got started. Ask these questions about, starting that legal paperwork. What do you do for this? What do you do for that? Be prepared. Get people's opinion. And if you are in the business already and you are not performing the way you want to, it's okay to say, hey, I'm not the expert. I'm not where I want to be yet, but I know I can get there. I just need to ask. I think a lot of people are afraid to ask. Ask for the sale, ask for help, ask for advice. It's okay to put yourself out there and say, hey, you're not the expert. I may have spent my whole, career studying algorithms, but when that change came last week, you well know I was inside those groups, reading as much as I could up on it, reading the blogs, watching what Facebook said. I had to learn too. I didn't just wake up one morning and say, hey, today I'm going to know all about this. No, you have to learn it too. So you always want to have people in the community that you can reach out to or learn from. And I would say the more you are actively involved in that community, and no questions are too many questions in some of those Facebook groups, just get out there, ask them. It's okay. Good groups and good entrepreneurs lift each other up. So we're always willing to provide advice and support if you need it. And if you need more than that, obviously, you can go find someone who can help you build an email sales funnel or create a website or design a logo, or at the end of the day, teach you how to sell or teach you how to market. Or maybe there's just someone who would be willing to sit down and have a coffee chat with you. They do nothing that you would actually need, but they have expertise because they're an entrepreneur. So you can make a lot of friends with different people that are complementary to your business. And those can lead to future referrals, or they can just lead to some great conversations where you learn from each other. And that is so important.
Yes. So, yeah, I'm not going to add on to that because we could be here for 3 days, but basically she's absolutely right. Ask. There's no stupid question. Nobody, even Bill Gates, no, he has a team of experts who help him. And eventually you'll have to start developing that team or those trusted members of your community who will give you the honest truth, even if you have to pay for it and you get your money's worth. So now everything free is the best for you. Sometimes you have to put out a little extra cash to get something tailored for you. Jenny, please tell us where we can find you. And you guys, again, don't worry about it. In the podcast notes, it's all below. And on Facebook, not Facebook, on YouTube, you just link below and all her links are there. But go ahead and tell us how we can find you.
So again, my website is jennyhale.com, and you spell it JENNYHALE.com. And I'm also very active on Facebook. I have a page, The Military Social Media Guru. I have a Facebook group, which you can find at facebook.com/groups Military Social Media Guru. I'm on Pinterest. I'm on Twitter at JenMil Marketing, Jen Mill Marketing. And I am also active on LinkedIn if you search for my name. So try to provide tips and advice from an entrepreneurial perspective. You'll also see the advice that I have for the military community there. And you'll also start to see some of the things that I engage with on a career level as well. LinkedIn is a jack of all trades for me, but I would love to connect with you, of course, because you've learned how to network. When you reach out to me, tell me that you found me through this podcast so that I can also go share that information with our podcast host. Tell me how you found me and how I can help you build your business or, help you along the way. I'm always happy to provide some value or introduce you back to the family that we're a part of in the group. You can come and introduce yourself and say hello to a group of veterans, military spouses, and military community entrepreneurs who love to support other military community entrepreneurs. So I hope you all enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions. And thanks so much for tuning in, and thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. So you guys heard it from my marketing expert, the person I love and trust with my marketing. I'm really funny with my money. I don't give it to everybody. You are listening and watching Sister Soldier Entrepreneur. Stay tuned for more interviews with subject matter experts and veteran spotlights. We'll probably have you on again year because there's so much information that I'm almost certain we didn't cover. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please post them below and I will be more than happy to interact with you. And, they're great questions for an interview, so go ahead and post them below. But again, you are watching and listening to Sister Soldier Entrepreneur, and it's powered by Butter Angels Handcrafted Skincare. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. And thank you. Have a good day.